The year is 2001. A pimply-faced 18-year-old Tony the Junior Tanker had just finished downloading Starcraft.rar onto his computer using Casa. And for those who know, that's like playing Russian roulette with 5 or 6 cylinders loaded with PC Ultra 8s. Yeah, that's quite the stunning visual. Anyway, after burning it to disk and getting to work learning the ins and outs of this game and feeling ultimately frustrated with the unbalanced gameplay, nothing that bad I had seen since Doom 2000, for those who know. Anyway, join me this week as I tear the Terran Confederacy a new one, because their Ubertom was the biggest disappointment, biggest steaming pile of crap I have ever had the misfortune of commanding in a video game. Yeah, we're going there this week, boys and girls. Buckle up, Buttercup. The Terran Confederacy siege tank is getting the tanker's view.
Hell, it's about time.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Tanker's View with me, your average tanker, Tony. Not so 18, not so pimply faced anymore. Anyways, those who are new, thank you for tuning in. Those who are returning, thank you for tuning in. As always, thank you for watching. So those who know, I always like to start these videos with a history lesson. So, you know what? That only chews up a good 5 minutes, but when it comes to StarCraft, there's only one history everyone's really interested in, that's the one that everyone seems to throw around. Now the internet is actually divided on this pretty evenly 50-50. No one can confirm whether it's true or not, but rumor has it, back in the day, late 90s, during the rise of the RTS gaming, G-Dubs wanted to cash in on this. Big surprise. G-Dubs and Capitals and cashing in on things. Anyways, Blizzard, rest in piss, decided to jump on board with them and try to make a video game. Long story short, licensing development hell, and Blizzard decided to go their own way and gave us Wish.com 40K. Starcraft is born. And of course, that was all just the internet's opinion, allegedly. You know, I didn't do an exhaustive search, all those YouTube thingamadoodles. Anyways, I was going to tear the Terran Confederacy siege tank a new exhaust port. So let's just go right into it. So everything I hate about this piece of Confederate trash can be pretty much boiled down into 3 points. Point 1. The fact that it has to and how long it takes to deploy this thing in combination mode. Point 2. The fact that combination units excel at nothing and suck at everything. And 3. The absolutely abysmal translated ranges. And given its supposed Ubertonk status. So, you know what? Let's just delve deeper into all these criticisms. Star Wipe! First and foremost, the deploy time of the siege tank is a significant drawback that has frustrated players and myself for years, in both StarCraft 1 and 2. When the siege tank transitions from its mobile mode to siege mode, it becomes immobile for considerable duration. This lengthy deploy time leaves the tank vulnerable to enemy attacks close-in swarms, making it absolutely challenging to position this thing effectively in the heat of battle or use it correctly. While the intention behind this mechanic may have been to balance the unit's power, in practice it often feels more like an unnecessary hindrance, limiting the tank's usability and tactical flexibility in-game, making it pretty much useless outside of, constant bombardment, and choke points. This would have been a simple fix by giving the Terran Confederacy a dedicated artillery unit, maybe even using the same sprite of the deployed siege tank just as an actual deployed artillery piece. But I digest. Even taking all of that into account and drinking more than enough stump hole whiskey to blind an entire Appalachian clan, they put the stabilizers on the wrong spot. Look at these. Just look at them, alright? Get up close and really take it all in. Alright? Where are the stabilizing spades on this thing? It ain't the rear with the gear, because recoil pushes it backwards, not side to side. Even any self-propelled artillery unit has it in the ass. Alright? I'd forgive this abortion of a tank if they put the stuff in the right place, so autists like me wouldn't have to have a stroke every time we see something like it. Which really segues beautifully straight into my next point. The siege tank's role as both a frontline tank and an artillery unit introduces incoherent contradictions in its design. Tanks traditionally serve as armored vehicles designed for direct combat and assault, excelling at soaking up damage, tanking damage. I couldn't resist. Providing fire support for ground troops. However, the siege tank's ability to switch into siege modes transforms it into a long-range artillery unit, capable of devastating enemy structures and units from afar. While this versatility may seem advantageous on the surface, it dilutes the tank's effectiveness in both roles, especially given the first issue I discussed, leaving it less potent as either a frontline fighter or dedicated artillery piece. Because both roles are separate for a reason. Artillery prepares and suppresses a target for an assault, because it's extremely vulnerable to direct fire, shoulder-fired missiles, counter battery, etc. This is because they either have no armor, or their armor skin is weaker than a YouTuber apology.
All aboard the toxic gospel train.
Tanks, on the other hand, are what you call in to fist the enemy up close and personal. I am saying the tank is the consequences of the enemy's actions, and lube wasn't in the budget. It's a 30 to 80 ton rusty steel razor wire dildo crewed by teenage alcoholics hopped up on Zins and Rippets with mind-blowing levels of anger issues. Sorry, conducts the assault using a combination of speed, armor mobility, and violence of action for you normies who don't speak veteran.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over my military-grade tinnitus. What?
Additionally, the siege tank's range, while formidable compared to many ground units in the game, in fact I believe it's the longest range unit in the game, it still kind of falls short of expectations set by its real-life counterpart, or even against dedicated artillery in other games. For example, the artillery in Supreme Commander, and even Command & Conquer 2 and 3. Of course, in reality, modern artillery pieces boast impressive ranges that allow them to strike targets from miles away, or well outside the fog of war, in games providing invaluable fire support to ground forces that you're commanding. However, in the world of Starcraft, the siege tank's artillery range and low fire rate feels, well, surprisingly limited, even using with spotters, especially when compared to other long-range units like the Protoss Colossus or the Carrier. This real disparity here kind of diminishes the tank's effectiveness as an artillery unit, forcing players to rely on other more costly specialized protection options for effective long-range bombardment, i.e. putting a lot of Marines and Ghosts in front of this thing, hoping to beat off that Zerg rush for your siege cannons to hopefully bombard that pool into oblivion, which really it just never happens.
Not even fucking close!
Now, despite all these criticisms, it's really important to acknowledge that the siege tank remains an integral part of both the Terran arsenal and the broader Starcraft experience. Its iconic status, unique gameplay mechanics have contributed to countless memorable moments in the game and competitive play. However, addressing the issues outlined by, making it two separate units really would have been nice. In conclusion, well, the siege tank, it doesn't even really boast a fearsome appearance and doesn't obey the rule of cool. It's lumpy, it's too compact, it's slow, it's ugly. It's just ugly. And you've taken every possible sci-fi trope and combined it all into this and given us, well, nothing of value, that's for sure. I don't even have anything nice to say about this tank. It sucks on every conceivable level. Anyway, guys, if you made it to the end of the video this far, thank you all for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, join the Patreon if you do enjoy my content, want to see more of it. It really does help. And I will see you all next time. Peace.